everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T-Roy. Hello, T.
Hey, pal.
I love the shirt. I'm ready.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid this year, man.
I am too. I feel like
Just
a dick,
am.
but I am.
I don't care. I am.
I know. You know what? I'm kind of that point, too. Like, I don't care. I don't care what the Greg Hensons of the world think. Fuck him.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to get him. He got a new baby. Oh, little oyster.
Yeah?
He finally pulled the trigger. Yeah. He's got an 8-week-old Aussie Shepherd.
Oh, yeah. It's all he's wanted.
That's all he's wanted. He's got a little Max Scherzer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The two eyes.
Yeah,
They're different colors.
The brown and blue. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, they're obviously adorable. There's something about those White Walker blue eyes I just adore. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
See right through your soul.
yeah. So he's gonna bring her over, and I think we're gonna finally do a show together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, no. I want you in studio. Bring Oyster. Let Cece and Oyster play Bogey. And he's the little girl's fucking Bogue size. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
right. Just a baby.
Finally.
Just a wee lass.
Finally, Bogues could have some fair competition. You know, it's not fair when Cece can just grab his collar and be a dick.
Yank him around.
Yeah, exactly. What a fun time last night, man.
It was good.
I want to thank you again for including me.
Sure.
We went and it was great seeing Todd. I haven't seen Todd in years.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he. I don't like giving last names, but whatever. Todd is a guy that worked at Greater Media for a small spell with me, and he's like, I don't know if Mike would remember me. Of course, I remembered him. Of course,
Yeah,
I
redheads are hard to forget.
I didn't even consider him a redhead. He's like that weird strawberry blondish kind of guy, but what a neat dude, man.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah. I've known him since middle school, technically.
Dude, it was crazy when he's like, yeah, you and Troy might be best friends, but me and Bubba were I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
How the hell did I not put that all together? That's just wild. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I guarantee we cross paths at Don's house.
Always, yeah.
For parties. I'm like, that's insanity, man. Because I know Bubba, obviously, not as well as most, but yeah, it was really cool seeing him, having the Dr. Tooch out there with us, and went to Government Mule. Never been a huge Government Mule fan, kind of a southern rock jam band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of an Allman Brothers-y kind of feel.
Yeah, in fact, I think their start was based on the Allman Brothers. Was it not?
Yeah, I'm not positive. But.
Yeah, Warren Haynes, I think. There's a connection to the Allman Brothers, which totally makes sense when you see them. And then they did Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah,
the second set, which was really cool.
Killed it, yeah.
I mean, you just knew how good they were as players, that they were going to do that and do it well and do it justice. But man, it was really cool being out there and seeing. I haven't, honestly, man, I haven't been on the lawn in Pine Knob in so long. A little tough for me balance-wise, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And seeing you almost slip at one point on a little slick spot, I was like, oh, God. If that would have been me, drinks flying,
everything.
Fucking phone gone, it would have been a nightmare. So I avoided the
Once I did
actual grass.
I changed the tactics, straight up and down the hill. No cross cutting across.
Yeah. You had some slick shoes on, but still, I was like, I could have cleats on it. I don't trust myself right now. So I stuck to the stairs mostly.
Smart.
But yeah, it was really fun, man. I had a lot of fun last night.
The Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin experience
was
opened
awesome.
up. Yeah, really good.
I felt kind of like a dick. Tooch has the same drum set as me in a different color, and we got him around the same time, the DW Collector Series, drum workshop for the nerds out there. And Tooch and I dabble. He comes over here, plays my kit. I go to his house and play his kit, and they're set up different, and we have a lot of fun. But he and I you and Todd were talking, and Tooch and I were talking while Bonham was playing, and they're just doing Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. And every time he missed, like those fills, it's like an Eddie Van Halen solo. Like John Bonham's fills are so recognizable to John Bonham. If you miss him by a fucking anything, it's like,
oh yeah,
he didn't do his dad justice there.
No.
And he probably doesn't give a shit, but
not really, close enough. But
there's so many iconic fills, especially if that's mostly what you hear in a song is the drums.
Yeah,
those fills are just legendary.
I mean, John Bonham is arguably the GOAT.
Yeah, he's on Rushmore for sure.
For sure. So to expect his kid to be necessarily on that level,
but his kid's really good.
He's really good.
He's really good.
There's a big difference between really good and
John Bonham
and GOAT status.
But I will say, when those guys lay down drum tracks, the rest of us can pick up what they're doing and can learn what they're doing. There's no excuse for Jason. Yeah. He can play those fills, and it's like, no, dude, you got to play them exact. You can't be an Eddie Van Halen cover band and fuck up Eruption. Like, you got to nail that.
You better nail that one.
You got to nail that. And that's kind of how I feel with John Bonham with his feet stuff. And,
It's your name that's up on the board there, kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's your dad's name.
Yeah.
That's up there on the billboard.
And it was cool. See, I think you pointed it out. He's got his dad's face on the kick drum, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But it was, what a fun night. And they, don't get me wrong at all. They certainly do justice. The kid belting it out.
It's good. I mean, as close as you're going to get to
Plant.
Zeppelin anymore. So,
dude, if you put actual Led Zeppelin on stage today, Robert Plant couldn't do what the kid did last night.
Probably not. Yeah.
No way.
No. I bet Jimmy still could though.
Yeah. For
Jimmy
sure.
Will
Jimmy could.
He'll shred from the grave.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about
Banging 16-year-olds.
So that was fun, man. Thank you for dragging me out of the house and including me in that. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night.
One of the things I've been doing, I've talked quite a bit about, is the Marvel comic universe, whatever, watching the movies and stuff like that. Well, I was talking to G. He kind of got me on that road when I was out in Arizona with him. He said, dude, have you seen the new Transformers? And I'm like, no. That is the epitome of the CGI nonsense bullshit movie. Right. He's like, you got to watch it. He's like, you got to at least watch the first 30 minutes. And I'm like,
okay. Megan Fox tits come out again or something?
No, there's no Megan Fox. You having a hot chick in a movie anymore?
Man,
stop.
Bummer.
Stop. I mean, what kind of racist or bigot or whatever the term would be that you would be.
That was the best part of the first one. I know that.
Yeah, I like Shia LaBeouf, but Megan Fox, dude, when that car hood is up and she's standing there in the Daisy Dukes, little sweat on her in that Texas sun, you're like,
iconic.
Whew. But she bitched, and I can't remember. I should have done a little tad more research because the name should just come to my head. The guy that directed it and all that, he's famous. He's done all those. He took shit from Megan Fox years later, saying like he over-sexualized her and she was young, and boy, hasn't that been story told a billion times in Hollywood. It's like, really?
Yeah.
You're just figuring that out now, that they're taking young, hot women and
is that like a Michael Creighton or something like that?
Yeah, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah,
Bay. That's
nice
what it was.
Job, T.
Yeah.
So Michael Bay apparently listened, and it's comical.
Right? Got some frumpies in there, did he?
Yeah. And no issue with that. Fine. You want to go away from sexualizing young girls. Fine. You can do that. Don't think your movie's going to do as well, maybe, but that's your choice, and you're the guy making the movie. That's fine.
Yeah, but we did just talk about that being the iconic scene from the original.
It's the only scene I remember.
Exactly right.
Like, literally. The only, and you could posterize that. That was posterizable.
No doubt.
So this one is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. It's on Paramount Plus now. And so I was like, fine. He's like, just watch the first 30 minutes and let me know what you think. And so it starts with this family. Of course, they're, I believe they're black. It could be like a Mexican black mix.
Oh, yeah, like black skin, like Dominican kind of stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the mom, so she's got little black kids. So there's the older black kid who's got a job interview today, and he's in his room, and he's just soldering, tech boards, obviously brilliant in the hood.
Yep.
Which is fine. Great. The little kid's got sickle cell. So they're dealing with that.
Okay, well, then they are black.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tell me you're black without telling me you're black.
The opening scene, the mom wishes the son good luck at his interview today, and then exits the room stating, make sure you laugh at all their jokes. White people love that shit. I was like, okay. We do. I didn't realize that was a thing, but okay.
Sure. It's good advice.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that applies to anybody if you're trying to impress them and you're trying to gain employment with them. If the black guy cracks a joke, you might want to laugh at that too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but white people apparently like this. I was like, again, cliche as it is, imagine flipping the script on that.
Listen, I know, but as a white guy, if you say a joke and a black guy thinks it's funny, it makes it even funnier.
Even better.
It's way better.
Way better.
Yeah, it's like a...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honor.
There is something to that.
So
it's like it reminds me almost of the Chappelle Show bit where the kid's driving on the black white supremacist.
Oh yeah.
And the kids are playing the rap music, and he's like, "You goddamn N-words," blah blah blah, and he's like, "That black dude called us an N-word," and they're like high-fiving. It was like a badge of honor to them. They felt very cool. So they cut to this museum where you've got the chunkier but fine, pretty black girl working.
Okay.
She's an intern.
Oh, this isn't the mom?
No.
Okay.
This cuts to so the boy going for the interview, and this girl who's working in a museum as an intern. Right? She's running late because she's picked up donuts and coffees for all the white staff.
Okay.
Who are super privileged, all of them, rude as shit. I don't know what business in America this takes place in, where you just run roughshod over the black intern with a cart. Get out of my way, type of thing. It's just nasty shit. So every white person she passes is rude. The boss, now we get to the boss, who is a super privileged white lady. Okay, so you got to have a woman leading the museum. So she runs into the black intern to say cops are here and they need info on these artifacts. Are they real or fake? Because the curator at this museum, the one in charge, would have no idea. So let's ask the young black intern.
Yeah.
Who would be way smarter.
Totally checks out.
Yeah, you would. I mean, I've had interns work for me. I'm sure you have had apprentices and interns. And whenever you get into some sort of thing with electrical work, I'm sure you go to the newbie and go, what do? I just don't know what to do.
Exactly.
So there's that. And the black intern knows, obviously, everything goes
This is
into
her opportunity to
detail.
shine.
Yes. She goes into great detail about the values of everything, whether they're real or fake, to which the white boss, who, again, is basically retarded and has no clue about any of this stuff, she then steals credit from the black intern, and as she's walking off, tells the police investigating, I figured this out, and then steals all the credit from the young black intern. Interview for the black kid was canceled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he shows up in his suit and tie. He's ready for his interview, and the Army said he was unreliable. Okay, so they won't even let him in to see the person for his interview. They won't even let him in.
So he had an interview, and then they canceled it last minute.
Didn't tell him.
Because the Army said that he was unreliable?
Yeah, he was apparently in the Army, and they have to point out. So he sees the guy he's supposed to interview down the hall. It's one of those
movie
big.
Sounds fantastic, by the way.
I got 30 minutes into it, so I'm just giving you the brief details, first 30 minutes. I don't know where this goes. Don't care. I will not be watching the remainder of it. But he's like, hey, Jim, I'm here for my interview. And he's like, it was canceled. Rude. Just blowing him off. And the guy's like, what? He's like, yeah, the Army called and said you were unreliable. That's enough for us. They said you were a brilliant comms guy. Of course, they've got to establish the guy's absolutely brilliant.
But
hardworking but unreliable. I can explain, sir. I had responsibilities at home with a very sick brother. He's got the sickle cell. The white guy, I can't have someone like you mess up what I've built, and then walks away. To which the black guy turns and goes, someone like me?
Like you people.
Like you people. It was a you people moment. Cut back to the museum. White retard boss lady is off to the gala. She's got her dress on. While the black intern chick just burning the midnight oil.
Yeah.
Gloves on, doing all the research, studying artifacts as they come in.
Does the kid with the interview and the intern chick bump into each other in the street and he gets like his peanut butter and her chocolate or anything crazy like that?
Sort of. Yes, exactly. But in the museum is where they run into each other.
This is where he went to sulk.
Yeah. And so apparently all the experts at the museum are morons too. They see what they think are hieroglyphics on a wooden, what looks like a wood, eagle of some sort, but it's got the Transformers logo on it. So you're like, ooh.
Foreshadowing.
And so the black intern says the boys, of course, the high level, people that are going to tell you what this is and blah, blah, blah. The boys rated this as 5000 BC, and the white, rude, retard boss says, so? Well, the Nubians never had contact with the Egyptians till 600 years later, so that can't be right. The black intern, the logic, bringing this up.
Yeah.
The cunt white devil bitch.
Obviously, she would know about the Nubians.
So the cunt white devil bitch then at this point says, interesting. Get these pressed, Kay, and throws her used clothes.
Oh, here you go.
At her. At that point, I said, okay.
That was the 30-minute mark?
Yeah.
All right, good. That was...
I think you guys are trying too hard.
I wish I got that 10 minutes of my life back.
Yeah, I apologize for that. But look, I feel like when you're working in radio, you have certain FCC obligations, and one of those obligations is something that you present to the community that's helpful.
Right.
So that could be something like, hey, there's a charity event going on at such and such. It could be a PSA. It could be, hey, Wayne State University is looking for, students with, blah, blah, blah qualifications. You're providing something for the community, and you have to show, if called into question, that you have done your civic duty. And I feel like that 10 minutes right there was sort of our PSA.
Perfect.
For anybody that hasn't seen the movie, was maybe thinking, oh, I'm going to go see Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox.
Not so much?
Not so much.
Well, fortunately, we don't deal with the FCC, so don't ever do that shit again.
I apologize, T.
Yes.
It's getting to the point of mind-blowing. Like, you're not even trying anymore.
No.
I get it if you want inclusion, you want a little diversity on the set, you want some diversity in the writing rooms. That can only be a good thing. Honestly, if you do it fairly,
of course,
it should add things. Like, we don't all grow up on a farm. We don't all grow up in the inner city. We don't all grow up in suburbia. We all have different things that are relevant to the world and certainly to this country that our perspective can bring.
Definitely.
There's nothing wrong with that. But that nonsense that I was watching was so forced. And so
calculated.
Calculated. It was done on. It's like, oh yeah, you got a little shit for having the hot young white chick in it, so we can't have that anymore. So let's go the complete opposite route.
Is the intern chick at least hot? Or did they get an ugly chick?
No, she's fine.
Okay.
She's a pretty girl in her own right, a little chunky, but she's fine. I wouldn't have a problem with her at all. And I don't blame the actors. They're going to take a role. If you have the opportunity to be in a Transformers
take whatever role you can
movie,
get. I mean, that's one of the most cutthroat fucking industries there is.
Right.
You take what you can get.
Exactly. Which is why you see people.
And don't ever apologize for it.
No. And I honestly, I don't blame them at all. They're only capable of delivering the lines as they're written, and they can only perform them the way they interpret it. And if you're left with a garbage script, like, there's very little you can do about it. Mm-hmm. The original Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., has said, I think he teamed up with Jon Favreau, has said the script was a fucking joke. It was a joke. It was so bad. There wasn't a history of these types of films making money. They weren't even making those types of films.
Right.
Kind of kicked off.
Shoving them down your throat.
Right. But he said, we had to go, okay, if we're going to do this, we need to redo the whole thing. We need to throw this garbage away and take it seriously.
Take that concept and make it work.
Right. Write a script.
Something that people will sit through and enjoy watching.
And there's very few people who can watch the original Iron Man especially and not really enjoy it. Yeah. I mean, it's a great story. It's a great, it just is. You watch it, it's got a plot. It moves along.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and yeah, it is what it is. So if you were thinking about watching the new Rise of the Beasts,
don't. Watch the original Iron Man instead.
Yeah, there you go. You're better off going back to the classics. Go watch Goodfellas. You'll enjoy that much more.
Go get your shine box.
Go get your shine box. So Devin Archer's transcribed interview.
Did you say trans?
I did. Transcribed.
Oh, okay.
Not trans.
Okay.
What was the new one?
Atlantic.
Racial? No.
Translucent.
No, transracial, right? Wasn't that the new one we learned about yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to fight for NBC
Yeah,
News.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. Absurd on its face. Mm-hmm. Yeah. House Committee on Oversight Accountability Chair James Comer today released a transcript from Devin Archer's interview that they did. Now, I will say, my personal thought, and I don't know how you feel, T, but my personal thought, when you talk about Hunter and Joe Biden and what business they had to offer, is crystal clear. They were selling the Biden name and his role in government to the highest bidder. To say that's unique to the Bidens, I'm not willing to go there.
Not at all.
My guess is this is going on with a ton of these guys, which is why there's never really been accountability.
Right.
So we're seeing it a little bit now. There's pushback on the Bidens. And maybe they're just really shitty at hiding a lot of this stuff.
Well, do you really want Hunter
as your bag guy, as your bag man,
as your weak link here.
Yeah, not a genius move.
Right.
You know, and who knows what.
I could see him being a tad sloppy at times.
Yeah.
Like, leaving laptops and things.
Yeah. Now, I think it's one thing when the Jim Jordans of the world, a House Republican comes out and says, this is going on, this is blah, 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 and it's absolute, a lot of people on the left are going to look at him and go, fuck you, you're playing partisan shit, and it doesn't account for anything. It doesn't mean anything coming from you. But when you start getting, I thought Tony Bobolinsky was very powerful, but he unfortunately went on Tucker Carlson. So,
which absolutely was just...
Yeah, it washes anything you said.
It takes away all credibility.
Right. Even though the interview was great, and if you watch it, it's crystal clear what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
So this is a personal partner. This isn't a third party. This isn't hearsay. This isn't, overheard on a phone call or through a wall at a meeting going, these are the guys that are on those email chains that have been found out. And Devin Archer is the top guy. Devin Archer is like best friends with Hunter, one of his best friends. He's also very good friends with the Biden family and was on the Burisma board with Hunter.
Okay. Yep.
And so having someone like that, you go, okay.
That's as inside as you get.
Yeah. You're not going to get more inside of that than if Hunter and Joe did an interview to the House Ways and Means Committee or House Committee on Oversight and Accountability and just spilled their guts, which would never happen. So then VP Joe Biden was the brand used to send signals of power, access, and influence. So the council says, you keep saying the brand, but by brand, do you mean the Biden family? That's what you mean, correct? Correct. And the brand is what, in your opinion? Was the majority of what the value that was delivered from Hunter Biden to Burisma? What was that value? Well, I didn't say majority, but I wouldn't speculate on percentages. Of course not, spoken like a true lawyer. But I do think that was an element of it. So Andy Biggs, representative, says, when you say Biden family, sorry to cut in here, I just want to get for clarification, you aren't talking about Dr. Jill or anybody else. You're talking about Joe. Is that fair to say? Yeah, that's fair to say. Listen, I don't think about it as, Joe directly, but that's fair. That's fair to say. Obviously, that brought the most value to the brand. Really. Yeah. Shocking. Majority council...
Dr. Jill didn't swing the big hammer, did she?
No. The big gal, you mean? The big gal did not hold the kind of power and leverage that you would expect in D.C. circles.
He's negotiating power.
That Hunter Biden was adding value. His value that he was adding was, in part, as you said, his family. That's what.
And by family again, what do you mean?
Dr. Jill. Oh, wait, no.
Gotcha.
And so what is your basis for knowing that? My basis for knowing that? Well, I think there are particular, objectives that Burisma was trying to accomplish. And a lot of it's about opening doors, globally in D.C. And I think that was, and then obviously having those doors open sent the right signals for Burisma, carry on its business and be successful.
You want this deal to go through? I can make it happen.
Yeah. My only thought is that I think Burisma would have gone out of business if it didn't have the brand attached to it.
Okay.
That's my honest opinion. And so, Goldman says, it was able to survive for as long as it did. Because of additional capital or... no, just because of the brand. Goldman says, well, I don't understand. How does that have an impact? Well, the capabilities to navigate D.C., that they were able to basically be in the news cycle, and I think that prevented them from a longevity standpoint. That's how I think holistically. How would that work? Because people would be intimidated to mess with them. In what way? Legally. Then VP Biden attended dinners with Hunter's foreign business associates who wired money to the Biden associate LLCs. Going back to this, it would be spring 2014, Cafe Milano dinner. And since we talked about it before the break, if you could just recap, can you say again who was there? Sure. Mr. Rakashev, Masimov, Botorina, possibly Yuri, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden. The duration of that time that Joe Biden stayed there, you said you couldn't recall, but do you recall whether he had dinner? Oh, yeah, he had dinner. I recall that he had dinner. But then do you recall getting a wire on February 14th of 2014 from Yelena Baturina for $3.5 million to Rosemont Seneca Thornton. Yes, and why I remember that is from the other testimony. There's a wire, an incoming wire to Rosemont Seneca account, April 22nd for $142,000. Soon thereafter, there's an outgoing wire, which appears to be the next day to a beneficiary of Snyder Nelson Motor for this exact same amount. What was, first off, our understanding is that Novitas Holdings Pte. Limited is associated Kenneth Rakashov. That's my understanding, Archer says. Why did Rosemont Seneca receive this $142,000 payment from Rokashev? It was for a car. For whose car? For Hunter's car. Was it a Porsche? I believe it was a Fisker first and then a Porsche, but yeah, it was for an expensive car. Yeah, for an expensive car. Let's move on to the second dinner. Spring of 2015, same place, Cafe Milano, who was there. I think we went over it before, but it was Vadim, Hunter, Joe, myself, Masimov, a Greek Orthodox priest, maybe someone from a World Food Program. And what did Joe do at that dinner? He had dinner, and there was, on that one, I believe the first one was like a birthday, and the second one, I think we were supposed to talk about the World Food Program or some bullshit like that. Then VP Biden spoke with Hunter's business associates by speakerphone. I love this. How many times did you say Hunter put his father on the speakerphone or referenced his father being on the phone in front of others who were either foreign investors or foreign nationals that he was soliciting business with or working with, approximately?
That's a very damning question.
Yeah. They spoke every day. He acknowledged that they spoke every day, and he would sometimes make it apparent that he spoke to his dad, and sometimes he put him on speaker. But as far as quantifying the number, I don't know. Not necessarily, so counsel says, not necessarily investors, but with people who Hunter was trying to either get business with or make contacts with or add value to. Archer says maybe 20 times. And during those 20 times, did Hunter ever place his dad on speakerphone? Oh, yeah. If I were to just call my dad right now and put him on speakerphone and we're in a professional business meeting here, would that be odd to you? That would be odd to me. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's entirely on who your father is.
Archer says that would be odd if you called your dad right now. So there is a time and a place when it's professional to do when you're in a professional meeting, and you may call your dad or a family member if you're with family. But if you're in a professional meeting and you're meeting foreign business leaders or whoever it may be, and you just place your dad on speakerphone on the table, that's a little odd, isn't it? Mr. Archer says that is a little odd. I mean, it's not odd. I mean, it's quite obvious what we're talking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is,
exactly.
Devin. It's very.
Why don't you go ahead and quit fucking around?
Yeah.
Just say it. Yes.
That I think at the end of the day, part of what was delivered is the brand. I mean, it's like anything, you know, if you're Jamie Dimon's son or any CEO, I think that's what we're talking about, is that there was a brand being delivered along with other capabilities and reach. I think brand is the best way to describe it. Going back to the calls that Hunter would put on speakerphone with his dad and others, can you describe what other people would say, if you recall, after Hunter did that? Because I'll tell you, from an everyday American, if someone were to put the vice president of the United States on the phone in front of you, it'd be pretty impressive. Oh, absolutely. And I think there would be some sort of reaction from these people. Yeah, I think everybody remains, you know, cool and calm like it was, and then probably called their friends and family and said they spoke to him. But the reaction, I don't have any specifics of like people jumping up and giving high fives, but I think it was, you know, a signal that they respected and thought it was of value. Burisma execs requested Hunter to get help from D.C. to address government pressure. This is kind of the end here. During that, I'll say, dinner at the Four Seasons, did Zlochevsky or Vadim ask Hunter Biden to make any phone calls? Yes, though I was not party to that phone call. What was the request? The request was, I think they were getting pressure, and they requested Hunter, you know, help them with some of that pressure. What pressure? Government pressure from Ukrainian government, investigations into Mykola, etc. But it wasn't like a specific. It was just we were sitting there at the Four Seasons having coffee, and there was Mykola, and there was some of the managers of the Four Seasons. So it was closed. Vadim was there. The restaurant was closed. It was not like a specific meeting. When you say pressure from the government, were you aware that Viktor Shokin was investigating Burisma? Whether it was Shokin, there was a lot of pressure initially. There were several pressure issues. It was kind of a theme with Burisma. There was capital tied up in London, 23 million pounds. There was a U.S. visa denied and then a Mexico visa denied. So Shokin was specifically on my radar as being an individual that was targeting him. But yes, that was constant pressure. It was like whack-a-mole in regards to pressures they had to resolve. Jim Jordan steps in. The request from Mr. Zlochevsky and Vadim to Mr. Biden was to request for help from whom to deal with what pressure. Basically, the request is like, can DC help? But there were not, I'm not going to, there weren't specific, can the big guy help? He actually says the big guy. Yeah. Can the big guy help? It was always this amorphous, can we get help in DC? So why do you think they were asking Hunter Biden for DC help? Well, I mean, he was a lobbyist, and obviously he carried a very powerful name. So I think that's what they were asking for. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the big guy. Listen, all this is, I mean, I don't know how this gets investigated, if this gets investigated, but no, it all comes down to the money.
Yeah.
I mean, follow the money, find the money, and will either burn you or set you free.
Yeah.
So depending on how well they hit it, how many times they cleaned it, we'll find out.
And we're not talking here about, oh, yeah, but what about what so-and-so did? And, like,
across the board.
Like,
I mean,
okay, if...
It's not witch hunting. It's not. But it's out there.
Yeah.
You
your
looked
it up the other
dipshit
day.
fucking son left his laptop.
Yeah.
And started this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
your crackhead dipshit
again,
son.
Choose your business partners wisely.
Your crackhead dipshit son tried to write off on his taxes his membership to a sex club in L.A.
Yeah.
And tens of thousands of dollars in prostitutes. By the way, the house that he was in Malibu, the reports are now from that owner there. They stiffed him on 3 months' rent, which was $80,000. Totally relatable to the American people.
Yeah, exactly.
And they fucking trashed the place.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the guy says, out of respect for the office, I'm not even going after him. Awesome.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Somehow I doubt
Just
that.
classy across all levels. When you talk about privilege being a problem, it's pretty pretty clear. Devin Archer next sat down with Tucker Carlson. So
Okay.
Tucker will have a lot more pointed questions and a lot more,
And he's not under oath. And they're not playing these cutesy little lawyer games of where they don't have to choose their words carefully and make all these little analogies about stuff. You don't have to fuck around with that when it's
no. And Tucker released, I believe, like a 10-minute clip I watched earlier. Devin seems like a likable guy.
All right.
He really does.
Sure.
But it's clear, and they're both laughing quite a bit in it. Like, you know what's going on here. I mean, it's a fucking joke to them. Tucker is laughing outrageously. Devin is laughing at times.
Laugh is weird to me.
It's super
He has
weird.
this uncomfortable, awkward laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's almost like I don't know.
Like this weird, goofy, clownish laugh.
Almost like Tourette's-y, kind of in a way.
Yeah. There are times when he was covering, I can't remember what story it was, but he did it in a couple episodes a lot. And it was like, it was one of those like nails on a chalkboard type things.
Yep.
Like it was really creepy.
Yeah. Like when he was on his show, like that didn't come out generally. Like he was
It
scripted.
did a little bit, but
I mean, here and there, but it was scripted. It was like, this is when it's off the cuff type thing. And it's like I said, it's this, I don't know if it's just this weird, uncomfortable defense mechanism thing that he's got or whatever it is. Cause it's not really funny. So it's not really like laughing that hard. It's sort of like a nervous tick kind of I don't know.
It'd be like, Black Lives Matter did $2 billion in damage, looting and burning down businesses. And they say this is all part of moving towards equity. You're like, okay, that wasn't hilarious.
Right.
But it's like an over the top laugh. Like what you just said was so absurd. I have to like do this fake laugh. Yeah. But I agree with you. Reel it in. He's a fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reel that in a little bit.
Fly fisherman.
Roll your eyes. Very effective. The interesting thing too is, I think I sent you a picture of it today, but I went to Google, as I'm known to do from time to time.
Yeah.
And I typed in full Devin Archer transcript, and I was just waiting for it to pop up. Obviously it's, if it on a day like today, right?
I was trending.
I would think full DE. Would get
as soon as you
Devin
hit that
Archer
V
transcript.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you hit that V,
right. Full DEA?
Full devil without a cause? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got
Full devotion?
Devin Archer, and Google was just like, I don't know where you're going with this. Full Devin Archer trans. I got nothing. I got
transgender, transphobic,
trans racist.
They'll probably put a million things in there for that.
I can't help you here, pal.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Google's just going, dude, you got more specific. What are you looking for? Yeah. You know I have the world's information. What is it you want? I got
that's
transcript.
Google going, you know we can't help you with this one, but just finish.
Keep going.
You're going to have to type this all out yourself. We're not going to autofill this one in for you, buddy.
I typed in full Devin Archer transcript, and then it followed me, and then was still like, I got nothing. You're going to have to enter.
Are you really going to hit enter on this? Are you going to hit enter? Are we going down that rabbit hole?
Going down that rabbit hole.
Okay, this one's on you, buddy.
Because Google is it's amazing. For the smartest, guy with all the information in the world, it's remarkable what he doesn't know. Like, just try typing in Justin Trudeau blackface. See how far you can get into that before Google just gives up. It just goes, I don't.
Yeah. It's like
I wish I could help
It's like they want to play along until they figure out where you're going, and then it just shuts down, and all of a sudden there's like, nope.
Nothing, they're like,
nothing.
Justin Trudeau, greatest leader in Canadian history?
A million options,
no, that's
right?
It's not. Justin Trudeau, Seneca, like BlackRock Investments? Is that what you're going for? Yeah. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you hit that F.
Oh.
Okay.
Nope. No, I think this guy might be going for blackface. We're not going to be any part of this. And
Absolutely
then
not.
Google just gives up their arms. Just goes, I got nothing. I don't know what you're doing. Where are you going with this?
Surprised sometimes it just doesn't give you like the circle of death when you search the wrong thing. They're like,
they'd be better off if an emoji just popped up with an eye roll, like you again.
Right?
Are you really? And by the way, I've searched Justin Trudeau blackface on my Google machine so many times. I should type in J, and it should assume he's probably going to check out those blackface images of Justin
your
Trudeau.
Your own autofill should pick up on that.
Right. So if I type in The Who, you're going to tell me every place in the world they're playing and where to buy their T-shirts at Target, and give me order forms to have them sent to my house in a day. Yet Justin Trudeau blackface, it's just
doesn't compute. It's weird.
I wish I could help you. I really do. That's kind of my whole job is to help you along the way here when you're trying to find information. But I'm at a loss.
System seems totally on the up and up, doesn't it? not slanted at all in any direction.
Oh,
that's all.
My God.
That's all.
Yeah. It's, what, I think, T, part of my issue at this point is just the idea of, like, don't gaslight me.
Yeah.
Don't act like I'm an idiot. Don't do that to me, okay? I understand it's very heated, and there's a this side and a that side, and a lot of whataboutism. But don't insult me, okay? I'm not the brightest bulb, currently screwed into the fucking fixtures in this house, but I'm not a total moron either.
No.
Don't patronize me.
And all of the information should just be accessible. It should not be filtered in any way.
No.
It should be accessible.
Yep.
No matter right or wrong, good or bad, indifferent, left or right, whatever it is, it's the information that's out there. It should not be manipulated in any way.
Yeah.
Yet it is consistently.
I was messaging with my new buddy Dave Abraziz yesterday again.
Oh yeah, right on.
And he was like, "Yeah, hit me up and we'll set a date and all that." I was like, "Cool." And then I was like, "Hey man, is there anything off limits? Like I just want a heads up, and then if I can find a way to gingerly go around something, and I know how to do that." So I was like, if there's anything that you absolutely don't want to do, and that could be like, dude, if you bring up sports, I don't know shit, so don't even bother.
Right.
Or I don't politics, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So that would be great to know. If it's like, I just leave me out of this one. No problem. Fully respect that. And he came back and he said, yes, exclamation point. My location, and don't disrespect anybody.
Okay.
I was like, fair. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
but I
obviously he's never listened to the show, but okay. Well, I think maybe more in his context, in the interview of talking about band members of things like that.
Do you think?
I think probably. I think that's more what he's going for there. Like, if you're going to ask me questions about things, fine, but
don't be a dick about any
exactly. Don't put me in any position. Don't talk shit about anybody. Don't disrespect anybody, and don't put me in a position to
don't gotcha me.
Right, exactly.
And I, he obviously doesn't know, but you and I are not big into that. We're not big into the, like, tell me what a piece of shit so and so is. Like, I cringe at shitty interviewers who behave like that. I would never do that. I've often said, I have the utmost respect to anyone who gives up their personal time to come on and talk with us.
Absolutely.
I have the utmost, I don't care who they are. I don't care what their line of work is.
Yeah.
They do not have to do it. There's Dave Aberziz does not have to come on this show and say anything. So the fact that he's giving his time, he could be hanging out with his wife, girlfriend, dog, and to sit down with us and talk about, stuff that he's probably talked about a bunch.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me. So the last thing I ever want to do is make people feel uncomfortable or that they got taken advantage of or used.
Manipulated.
Never would I do that. Now, I don't know how long that pact goes. Like, disrespectful. Like, one person's disrespectful is another person's like, yeah, well, I feel like they were being disrespectful and I responded, so, but.
Yeah. I mean, there's some gray area there, but I think in general,
I hope you're right.
When you're talking about, and if you're going to ask about specific things, and whatever happened with the band and whatever's been going on, whatever, I don't know that much of his story,
right?
But I'm sure there's enough of he said, she said shit out there.
Yeah.
Of every breakup has drama on some level for whatever reasons,
right?
And so maybe that's it. Just keep it classy. That's all.
I'm actually glad I brought this up because I had not considered that. I thought it was in the context of don't ever be disrespectful to anybody ever.
Oh, I think
that makes way more sense.
Him.
Like, hey, in my orbit,
specifically, yes,
in my world, how about we keep it cool? And I totally agree.
Yeah, I
have the utmost respect for all the performers that have played with Dave and who he's played with. Believe me, I'm way more fan than anything. So, yeah.
There you go.
I'm glad I said that to you. I think you're right.
Could have made that an Ask T-Roy segment.
Yeah, we could have. Lizzo finally responded today.
Okay.
After she was accused of body shaming.
Yep.
And
wait, aren't there like actual
sex harassment?
Yeah, isn't there actual like charges for this or a suit?
A suit, yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, 3 backup dancers filed suit, claiming sexual harassment, toxic work environment, along with a slew of other allegations. The 3 backup dancers, we don't need to name them.
Does this have anything to do with odd timing of coming off tour after Taylor Swift gives her people all this huge bonus, and then they just get shit on for this whole thing, and they were like, you know what, fuck you, let's go get our bonus.
Well, I don't have any idea what kind of bank Lizzo's making from touring.
Plenty.
Lots,
Enough.
right?
Yeah, not Taylor Swift money, but plenty, I'm sure.
Is she doing like...
But she's relatively new. I mean, she's
35.
Yeah, but as far as making it big, I mean, she was...
10 years?
Not even. She was at Mopop before she made it big. Like, she just won her...
kidding.
She just, like, her first album in Grammy was probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that. So
wow, that puts it into context. The Mopop.
It's not. Yeah. She did one.
So Sky must have seen her.
Yeah, she did. That was one of the year she did Mopop, like the year before she blew up, and Sky saw her.
Okay.
There,
Did she know who she was?
Yeah, I mean, knew of her.
Yeah.
Because I think she. No, I'm thinking of something else.
Well, that's cool.
So
though.
yeah, it's not. It has not been that long. So she's not into, like, real money yet.
Right. But if she books a tour right now, would she play LCA, Pine Knob, or the Fox?
Yeah, $40 million.
Net worth?
I mean, yeah, which is not bad.
How much of that is clothing, though? She's got a bunch of clothing line stuff.
Well, do you think that stuff's actually selling?
For big girls, yeah.
Maybe.
I bet it is. Yeah, she's got a whole line for big girls. I think that's the name of her company, anyways. GRRRLS.
Yeah, and that was the name of the tour as well.
Right. So they claim Lizzo pressured them to engage with nude performers at an Amsterdam club in February. We went through the details of that yesterday. I'm inclined to believe the backup dancers here.
Yep.
There's too many of them. Now, could this just be disgruntled workers that got fired at the end of a tour? trying to get a money grab, I suppose.
It's possible. Yep.
I could also see people using maybe an incident that happened if you're touring in Amsterdam and you're all putting them back, having some cocktails, like, give T-Roy a lap dance. And I'm just, you get into a wacky mood and I'm buying 10 dances in a row for T. And then afterwards it's like, he bought me dance after dance and I was humiliated.
Yeah.
When at the time, you were loving every minute of it. So whether it's shooting, what was it, vibrate dildos out of vagines?
Yeah, made him pick them up, right?
Sounds like a fun game.
So there was an album in 2013 that looks like it did nothing because it shows peak chart positions across the world and has just blank across the board. Okay. There was one in 2015, same thing, blanks across the board. And then in 2019, Cause I Love You hit and then blew up. And then there's only been one more in 2022.
Okay.
That have done anything. So it's really 2 albums that have hit.
So this is like Grit Sandwiches before Devil Without a Cause,
right?
Essentially,
exactly. So yeah, there were 2 before. So now that so 2013, technically 10 years ago, she released an album, but it didn't do fucking anything. But she didn't make anything until 2019.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you're about spot on, like 5 years, coming up on 5 years.
Gross.
Yeah. Lizzo described the allegations as outrageous.
Of course.
In an Instagram post.
How about you let your attorney handle this one?
Yeah. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous not to be addressed. These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. Lizzo is also accused of body shaming a dancer for gaining weight. See, I would have believed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was about a dancer who lost weight.
I'm the biggin here. You fucking you don't get up into my range.
I'm the thin biggin on stage. You don't get to out thin me. I could see that argument, but she's making the exact opposite.
Got a little too fat.
Yeah.
Maybe she was getting winded. Maybe she couldn't make it through the routine.
Maybe
she was eating too many Lizzo snacks.
Maybe
she's getting mad.
Do you think it's possible, or do you have a problem with when you're talking about the arts and you're talking about putting on a stage performance that you're going to tour the world with? Do you think it's okay? Admittedly, it would look kind of silly if you had Lizzo on stage and then had a bunch of tiny, what we historically think of as backup dancers behind them.
Yes,
that would look silly. So having Lizzo and then having a bunch of girls that are equal size behind her, while it looks kind of silly too, like that at least
balances it out.
It makes sense.
What if Beyonce had just biggins behind her? She'd get killed for it.
Probably.
Right? Oh, you were making yourself look skinnier and hotter,
Right. Well, Lizzo's doing that with that outfit. Remember that?
God,
the cut of that outfit? You showed that picture of it. It was like, okay, I see what you're doing there. I get it.
Yeah.
You're wearing Spanx on stage at this point.
Use every trick in the book.
Yeah. Which I get. I like dark shirts for a reason,
Right.
I wish I didn't have to wear only dark shirts.
Avoid horizontal stripes.
Yeah, exactly. No, but do you think it's fair to have limits on performers? So if Lizzo is going, hey, look, I hired a 320-pound woman, not a 350-pound woman for behind me. You cannot gain 30 pounds in the middle of this tour. And even if it's not like you're winded through the routine, which would obviously, I think, it's affecting your ability to do the performance.
Yep.
That's one thing. But just going, no, I purposely set out to have a balance on stage with me as the front, and now you've tacked on 50 pounds.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me. Is that fair?
Yeah, we were already testing the stage structurally.
Right.
So we can't afford,
right.
risking it all.
Exactly. Elevators have a number on them for a reason. You don't fuck with that. Right. So do you think that's fair,
12
though?
people, 800 pounds, or 4 Lizzo dancers?
Do you think that's fair, though, to go, hey, look, man, I hired this for this spectacle that we're touring the world with, and I don't want to buy extra costumes now because...
I mean, in this day and age, no, I don't think you can say that.
No.
I mean, I think it's, a tad hypocritical, but...
If it's true,
neither here
all
nor there.
allegations at this point. This is all alleged.
Of course.
So, yeah, she was accused of body shaming a dancer for gaining weight, which runs counter to the brand the singer has cultivated. If that's, first off, I can't imagine Lizzo actually fat shaming a dancer. That could be like, girl, I've noticed you're not fitting into your uniform anymore. We still got 6 weeks on this tour, so take it down a notch. That's not fat shaming.
Depends on
who you're asking.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Historically, would you consider that fat shaming?
No.
No, me either. I would think that would be a reasonable request for the performer to have.
Yeah.
That's
What if she's going, she gets up from the table and she's going to get another piece of cake and you're like, hey, how about a salad instead?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fat shaming?
In today's world, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So we can't say anything about anyone's appearance at any time. We just is that where we're at? I'm asking the question.
I can't even guess in today's environment of what is real and what's not anymore.
So if you're a parent concerned about your child who is gaining too much weight, are you allowed to say anything to your child? Like, I'm concerned because my parents did it to me. My family's done it to me.
Yeah.
And my initial reaction is to have blood boil and go, fuck you, don't tell me how to. But no, they're not trying to make me feel bad. They're not trying to make me feel embarrassed. It's like,
They're
dude,
concerned.
We're concerned, okay? We're your parents, and you appear to be getting gluttonously huge. What's going on?
Right.
And then we figured out what it was, and
see?
that came off. But, I thought that was in bounds. Like, that wasn't a reckless call on their part. I didn't think it was mean.
And and it probably was in bounds until
someone gets fired.
You were looking for, a payday.
Yeah. The stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are absolutely demoralizing, the attorney said. Take that with a grain of salt.
Of course.
Lizzo says, I am very open with my sexuality and expressing myself, but I cannot accept or allow people to use that openness to make me out to be something I am not. There's nothing I take more seriously than the respect.
Somebody make her out to be skinny?
No.
Oh, all right.
Just checking. There's nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. I know what it feels like to be body shamed on a daily basis and would absolutely never criticize or terminate an employee because of their weight. It would actually shock me a little bit if she did. Honestly.
A little bit.
That my personal opinion.
Like I said, that was the one that stood out to us yesterday when we talked about it. Like, all right, I need some more information on this. What do you mean she was fucking weight shaming somebody?
Yeah, and you're not giving us specific examples. Like if you said just that, I was going over to get a small sliver of cake, and she said, "How about a salad, Tubby?" Like that would be something where you go, "Oh," but just saying she demoralized people and fat shame or body shame, like. You're just throwing out buzzwords. I get it, but you're not giving me anything here. When you said she had women shooting dildos out of their vagines and making the girls catch them or eating bananas.
No problem with those details of the story. Those came out fast and furious.
Right. And we were like, okay, I can picture that. You're all at the club. Girls are doing the ping pong ball trick with actual vibrators.
Grab her titty. No. Grab her titty. No. Grab her titty. No. Grab her titty. No. Grab her titty. Fine.
Those were very specific things.
Yes.
That we can go, okay, I could see that happening. I could see a few cocktails leading to that.
Sure.
Right or wrong, but, boys will be boys, have done that for ever.
And you can say, right, everybody's into it. Everybody's doing it, huh? And then there's the one person like, come on, don't be an ass. Just grab the titty. Everybody's grabbing a titty. Just grab the titties. What the fuck? It's a titty. Just grab it. You got a titty here. I'll grab your titty. You grab that titty. Grab a titty. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's like, grab the fucking titty now.
Yeah. You want to finish this tour?
Fucking grab that titty now.
And let's be honest, T, you and I have been to plenty of clubs like that. And we also have buddies in our inner circle that would not be cool with that. Like they would feel that's totally disrespectful to their girlfriend at the time, wife, whatever. That's not who they are. And so if you were going, grab her tits, even the girl wants you. She's chanting too, grab my tits.
Yep.
That friend of ours would not be cool with that. Yep. Like we know those guys. So that's not outlandish to think that, 5 girls and Lizzo were in on it, but the 6th dancer wants nothing to do with it. That's totally believable.
Absolutely possible.
Yeah.
Sue worthy. But
yeah. The last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character's been criticized. Lizzo's former creative director, Quinn Wilson, and dancer Courtney Hollandquist. And this is where I go, okay, maybe there's more to this than just, like, these 3 backup dancers got fired. Now you're talking about her former creative director, Quinn Wilson, and dancer Courtney Hollandquist. They're supporting the backup dancers.
Okay.
I'm not part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light. I haven't been a part of that world for 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings. So that's a couple people not associated with the lawsuit, that are going, that was my
Just lending some credibility to the accusations.
Exactly.
Melissa Vivian Jefferson.
What's that?
Melissa Vivian Jefferson.
What is that?
Lizzo.
Oh.
That's her real name.
That's a beautiful name.
Right?
Melissa Vivian
Jefferson.
That's a great name. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck did Lizzo come from?
I don't know. She's quite the accomplished flautist.
Flautist.
If you know.
Flutist. Mm-hmm. What is it? Flautist?
Flautist, I believe.
I think it is too.
Yep.
God, I could go for a flautist.
Born in Detroit.
Yeah, that's right. You've told me that.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Local.
Yeah, you know what? There's a I don't know. I don't have a problem with Lizzo and what her brand is. I think if you've got an audience out there and your brand can survive that, I don't find her terribly appealing musically. You know, that's my big issue with Lizzo.
Yep.
You know, it's like, oh, really? We're giving this a HBO special, and you know,
yeah.
I didn't think she sounded very good, but you know, teach their own. And if it makes girls feel better about themselves or their own bodies, then you know, more power to them.
God bless.
You know,
yeah, that's what we need is more biggins.
Yeah, no, but you know, having people role models is important, and I literally don't have a problem with that. A lot of people struggle with weight issues. I get it, and having people to look up to that have made it and are successful. You know, there's reasons guys like Jack Black are like, yeah, go get him, Jack. You know, he's a leading man, really. You know, shouldn't be.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, good for the fat guys, you know?
Sure. See Cardi B's video?
No.
You see that?
She's the WAP girl?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Wait, I did see a headline. I'm trying to, as I was scrolling stories today, did someone throw something on stage and she did something back? Or?
That was a couple days ago. Yeah,
okay.
Somebody threw a drink on her and she chucked the mic at him.
Okay, that's what I saw last.
No, since then. She performed, I believe, is in Vegas again.
She got a residency or something?
I don't know what the fuck's going on. But she was wearing a very short skirt, dress, you know, thing. Mm-hmm. No panties.
What?
Dancing, twerking with the ripcord hanging out. The tampon string.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope.
Do you have video of this?
Oh, boy, do I.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's a real thing. Yep.
I know that wasn't there a girl band, like a punk band, that the girl whipped one out.
Oh yeah, and she
like in the '90s and whipped it around and threw it at the crowd or something.
Yep.
It was like L7 or something. It wasn't L7, but someone along those lines. Not to.
Well, let's see.
Like
so yeah, she's literally got no
Pussy
panties
Riot
on.
or one of those.
Oh, sorry. Kill that.
Oh, why'd they blur it out?
Oh, fuck that one. That's a shit video. Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't know if you're going to be able to find it or if they've done it.
It's there somewhere. We won't bother with it. But yeah, I saw the unedited video, and so she just kind of holds the front of her skirt like right over the front of her pussy, so you can't really see her pussy, but like you can still see, like, I mean, especially on stage when you're looking right up into it, and people are videoing it like that, and she's like bent over, like twerking and stuff, and it was fun fucking. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so disgusting.
Right?
So that's done on purpose.
Gotta be
100%.
right. Exactly.
You would know
this is
that
what
there's going to be people in the front row with cameras.
Right. Icon, right?
Right. Well, if you want to keep your name in the news, it's a good way to do it.
Well, is that a good way to do it, though?
Well, no, it's a horrible way to do it, but it will have that effect.
Yeah.
You know? screaming about Black Lives Matter on a microphone won't do it, you know. But doing something like that will, you know.
Yep. Oh, I think I might have it here. Do you care? Do you want to see it?
Oh, I most definitely do.
Okay.
I'm going to regret it immediately, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have anything hang on,
it's potted up, yeah.
Yeah, let me get it here for those at home. I mean, if I got to see this shit, they got to see this shit. Oh, come on, give me this full. With the fucking, why are you not wearing panties with a fucking tampon in? What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, listen. Overall, I
have no words.
I'm gonna say, respect. You want to go out there with a fucking short skirt, no fucking. You want to go commando and do your thing and throw that fucking whap around? Okay. Put the fucking mouse tail away. You know, or maybe you do that next week. You know, take this week off of the no panty short skirt deal.
I have no words. All I can think is that is such extreme narcissism. Like, look at me, because that's 100% done on purpose. There's no accident there. Yeah. That was a conscious thought.
Maybe she does this for every show, and it's just, hey, you know what? She's a chick. So some shows, it's going to be that time of the month. She's going to have the fucking plug-in. Just the way it is. Doesn't care, doesn't do it for everything. Or was this intentional? I don't know.
This seems like a very conscious move, and I don't know. I remember.
But at what point can
have you ever seen Lenny Kravitz split his shit and his dick falls out?
Yep.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, at what point is this like, obscene, or is this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's indecent exposure.
We must sound like such fucking.
No, I'm cool with it. You know, the tampon thing makes me want to throw up my fucking mouth a little bit, but the fact that you want to throw that whap around, cool. I'm down with it.
I love the video of the girl.
But let's be fucking real about what we are and where we are in society today. Like, since when can you run around fucking slapping your pussy around?
Never. I love the video of the girl. She's on stage with a band. She's hot too, black chick, and she gets a guy up on stage,
pisses on him,
and squirts
against
right over his face.
Brass against,
dude. The music, I had to watch it on a loop, and it wasn't so much about the pissing, but I so enjoyed the jam going on.
Yeah.
Can you find that? Do you know what that was?
I think it was called I think it's Brass Against.
Is that the name of the band?
Yeah, I think so.
Very, very talented. Mm-hmm. If you could find that, that'd be hilarious, because I haven't heard that beat since I watched that video on a loop all day one day. And I don't know if we're supposed to show that, but...
whatever, who cares? Brass Against band. Oh, yeah. Look at me.
Did you find it, really?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dude, I can't believe you remember the name of them.
Mm-hmm. They do Tool covers.
Yeah, okay.
So, let's see. Let me try and find a decent fucking one of it, not like the New York Post story and the shit that's going to be blurred out here.
I guess rock stars have been trying to shock forever.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kiss or Motley Crue with a lot of them will admit they were just trying to get a rise out of people.
They were opening up for Tool.
Yeah, that's right.
Brass Against singer Sophia Urista. Right, and they were.
They told her to perform in an OP zone.
Yeah, Maynard,
so she must have
Maynard put up signs, no P zone.
Really?
Yeah.
As a joke, but there you go. I mean,
fucking with it. These are all like that's an 11-minute video.
What's the last one? That's 20
That's what
seconds.
I was just at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not it because that's the no P zone thing.
I bet if you go to Twitter,
probably.
You could find it.
Probably.
Not a big deal.
It's there. Here we go. This one will do it, I'm sure.
I just love the beat behind it, honestly. I'm not even kidding.
Stop it. Where's my... There it is. Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
What's the piss on his head? Oh, we're probably going to get censored for this.
Yeah.
And respect, she keeps singing. But look at that, just fire hose.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Fuck,
We
guys,
should
just
probably get this off
taking
the screen, dude. We're
Just
probably
taking
gonna
it.
get in serious
Yeah.
trouble for that.
Wow. You said it.
No, I just wanted to hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Some cover band doing
Damn it, T.
Rage Against the
Is that what they were
Machine.
doing? Were they doing a rage song?
The price, yeah.
That's probably why I really liked it. It's the horns that come in after the whiz too.
Brass against.
brass.
That's what they are. That's
Yeah.
that's what they do.
Brass against.
They do a lot of covers. They probably have their own stuff, but they do a ton of covers too.
Okay, moving on drastically.
Okay, switching gears.
Yeah. I apologize for that for people at work right now.
Yeah, right? Well, whatever.
My bad.
Hey, this changing of gears is brought to you by your insurance expert. Are you paying too much for insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's Nick Matthews, 248-914-1173.
Very good. Radio41.com is our website. Radio41. All the words are spelled out. You can get merch there. You can use the Amazon link, the Amazon Canada link, MyPillow. Just use promo code TDC. There's like an 80% off stuff. So if you've ever been wanting to get, I just got an email today from Dawn over there, and she's like, they're blowing out all kinds of shit. So their sheets are undeniable great. They just are. I know they're selling the Percal ones or Percal ones, but if you can still get the Giza, I'd highly recommend that. The MyPillow 2.0, they're great. TDC is the promo code to use there, and they kick us back some. Also, a link to our Patreon page. Absolute best way to support this show is to do it with a little bit of your wallet. We don't take much, but it certainly helps us out. Moving on to other things, how much longer do you think Bill Maher is going to be accepted in liberal circles?
Is he still?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, he's super anti-Trump, which is fine. That's
that's fine too, right? I think.
But you look at RFK, like no one is hated more by the Democrat
now.
People, fans of the Democratic Party, more than him. Like as much as Trump, they fucking despise him.
Yeah, like Rogan.
Right.
I mean, it's
classic liberals that are just absolutely being tossed out by their party.
Off their party, right?
Yeah, which
Tulsi. The list goes on.
Yeah.
But if you really look at what these people did, they haven't really jumped ship. So what I'm hoping is that there's a gravitation back towards the center. That's all I'm hoping.
Be nice.
That because not the extreme MAGA, not the fucking crazy fucking left, but we got to figure out, we got to get back in the middle here somewhere.
Well,
take a little bit of this, and let's get back to the fucking people.
But nobody wants
the powers
to do
that
that.
be won't allow that.
Well, I love what Bill Maher is doing with his new podcast. What is it called? Club something?
Oh, yeah. Like, whatever it is.
But he had Kid Rock on a few months ago, and I had never seen it, and I watched some of that. It was
that
great.
was that old?
Yeah. Okay. But
Club Random.
Club Random. And he's had some guests on there that you wouldn't expect, like that in polite liberal circles are not welcome. They're not welcome on mainstream channels anymore. And it's like, if you think this is going down a good road, you're insane. Right. If you think just anybody who has a differing opinion of you is no longer welcome on your mainstream media outlets, like that is a bad fucking road to go down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when did shitting on your own team? First of all, when did having a team become a thing for personalities, comedians, that type of shit? First of all,
for comedians, never.
Right. I mean,
which is what Bill stands on.
Yeah, but you never knew Carson, Leno, Letterman. You never knew their political affiliations.
Right.
You ripped on everybody. If you got online, you got smacked. That's the way it was.
Bill has always been a political commentator.
Well, he has. I understand that, but I'm just saying in general. But it's not like that anymore. It's completely one-sided.
Right.
So
well, it's almost like a gotcha. Like if I can figure out what your politics are, then I can have half the country denounce you.
Yeah.
Which is just a really shitty way to be. I love. We just heard today. I saw that Gavin Newsom is going to debate Ron DeSantis.
Oh, that'll be a good watch.
Great.
That's
great.
fantastic.
It's going to be moderated by Sean Hannity, and I hope Sean does his homework.
Okay.
And I hope
so.
I hope he's very respectful to both. I hope it's not something where it's like, obviously he would be a much bigger fan of Ron DeSantis. I hope it's not like MSNBC would do, where it's like, oh, here's a fluffy question for you, Ron DeSantis, and then here's
a gotcha
just
for you.
My tone is different. It doesn't even have to be that the question is necessarily out of line. It's just the way you presented it that made it like, oh, you fucking despise this person. Don't do that.
No.
Let these people speak for themselves. What Bill Maher did with Kid Rock.
How about we actually have just a professional moderator actually do these things? And
they usually have a
panel or whatever. But it's not. They're all biased. I mean, they're on some level.
They are. I think
it's usually personalities. I mean, whatever.
When Trump did the and he said he called the chick nasty or whatever, and people were outraged.
Yeah.
What did he call her?
CNN or something.
It was
what she just did.
And I felt the same way. I felt like she was being really rude in the way she presented questions. I didn't have a problem with him being on CNN. I didn't have a problem with the questions that were asked.
Yeah.
It was just the way she did it. There was a disdain for this man, and it was like, this isn't helping. Okay, I know you think you're gaining team points here.
It's not unbiased here,
but this, it's very clear what you're doing because you're doing it, and I have eyes and ears, and I can see what you're doing. Should he respond with "You're just a nasty woman"? Probably not.
No.
But But
at some point, you had to defend yourself, too. If you're going to go on CNN, you know what you're up against.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to hopefully be in some sort of an unbiased situation so that you can say what you have to say. You can answer questions. You can make your points. And potentially reach some people that may not have been able to hear this message otherwise because it's censored everywhere. Right. It's not, So I have mad respect for that to be able to do it. I really hate the fact that if you're going to not allow him that real opportunity, or if you're going to, line these questions up in a way to make him look bad. If you're going to just have that condescending tone that's just going to set that whole fucking, scene for the whole thing. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck this guy already. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what comes out of his mouth because it's not about what he says. It's about what you asked him.
Right. Well, there's something to be gained by having someone you vehemently disagree with on the show. You having the attitude of, I will never give them air. I will never give them breath on these airwaves. Blah. No, you're better off having them on and let them present the shit person they are.
Exactly.
Let
people make up their minds for themselves.
Right. So doing a hit piece on Gavin Newsom every night, if you're Fox News, will have half the country agree with you that, and anybody who can look at California, you're crazy if you don't think they have serious problems there. But having Gavin Newsom come on for 2 days on Hannity, I didn't realize how many people agreed with me. Like, the dude came off way better than I would have given him credit for.
Yeah.
And so the idea of Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom in a debate that's just moderated down the middle. I don't need your input.
That's all I ask.
I know where you stand.
I want to know what these people have to say.
Yes. Let me hear Gavin and don't interrupt any of them. You're not the one we're voting for, fuckface. So, Sean, shut up.
Yep.
Ask your questions.
Not about you.
Be well prepared. Do your research and let them present who they are. And if you go, that guy's crazy, Ron DeSantis, holy shit, I had no idea what a nut job and a hateful person he is.
Yeah.
That will come through if that's what you believe about him. But if we all go in with an open mind and go, okay, Gavin Newsom's given his time here, I'm going to respect that, and I want to hear what he has to say. And you might just find that we're so not as different as we think.
Sure.
That we might have different ways about getting to a solution to something that we're looking for. Might not agree with yours, but at the end, if you find out, well, at the end of the day, we're both trying to get to the same place.
Yeah.
I want to go left, they want to go right, but we're all getting around the block and going there. It might not be as like venomously hateful, but if you don't give them the opportunity to have that platform to do that, if you just shut them out, it's going to backfire.
It's so easy to manipulate those formats too. I mean, as easy as like, first, the timing of it, you know, when people run out of time and how they let people retort and when they let people respond and when they don't. And even, you know, not following up on certain things. This guy says something that it's on your team, but you don't ask the follow-up question to that one. But the guy on the other team says something, but you ask the follow-up question onto that one to create that air of you know, conflict and
the
things.
Leading questions, trying to get an answer.
There's so many ways to manipulate that.
There are.
To make it biased without it even seeming like it is.
And it's all obvious. And if you do your job properly as an interviewer,
they shouldn't even know you're there.
You know, it doesn't mean like a lawyer where you need to know what the answer is already. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to is rule one in lawyering. You don't need to be that as an interviewer, but you need to be prepared and you need to have follow-ups that are proper, and you shouldn't show favoritism, especially as a moderator of a debate. Like, you have a real responsibility there. It's not about you. It's not. No one is ever voting for Sean fucking Hannity.
No.
Ever. No one is ever voting for Anderson
Don't tell
Cooper.
him that, though.
Right. Yeah.
No, these people think they want to be the star of the show. That's why I said, like, let's just have a legitimate fucking moderator.
It's the same reason when we talk about Rogan. It's like, yeah, good. Have Trump on. Do 3.5 hours with him. Everything he's about will come out. Have Biden on the next day. Yeah. Do it.
Have
Great.
DeSantis, have Newsom. Let's do it. Let's find these things out.
Yeah, there'd be nothing better than putting these guys on the spot.
Yeah.
For 3+ hours about all the topics. And if you're someone who goes, I wouldn't even listen to that. Well, you're the problem then.
You are definitely part of the problem.
You know what I mean? If Maxine Waters did 3 hours on Joe Rogan, I'd listen to it.
Yeah.
I just
need
would.
to know what's going on. You have to be informed.
Yeah.
If you take other people's word for it, you're an idiot.
Bill Maher is, you know, they keep throwing this old school liberal out.
Yeah.
Which has changed when you're talking about woke ideologies and all that kind of stuff. So he's slamming, and I give him credit. Bill Maher, as high as he is when he's doing his show.
Well, I couldn't believe that Kid Rock one we saw. Cooked. He was stoned as fuck. I mean, I know he loves weed. It's not a surprise. I mean, it's not a secret. But yeah, he was high as shit.
He was fucking cooked. I mean, it was almost funny at times where he was choking himself up, just like that. But, you know, to each their own. So he's now slamming these progressive leaders in woke cities, including New York City, and I think you need a lot more of this.
You do.
You need a lot more of these people saying...
And this is the start of it. This is, I guarantee there are a lot more people that feel this way, but are just completely afraid to say anything against the team. Yeah. Right? The precedent's been set.
Yep.
The gauntlet is there.
It's the best thing about having fuck you money is being able to go, no, I'm not bowing to any corporate interests. I'm not bowing to network interests. Yeah. I don't have to. And if they fire me, so be it. I'll sip Mai Tais on a beach and smoke weed all day till the day I die. Mm-hmm. And Bill Maher has that kind of money. Kid Rock has that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
So they can go on there and poke fun at each other, and they can laugh about
these companies
stuff.
started not catering and bowing down to the mob when they were coming after them in the cancel culture and that kind of stuff. Like you're only canceled if you go along with it in a way. You know, I mean it's
exactly
okay. I mean,
and the people that are the most ardent, like, fuck yous, they tend to be left alone. Like, it's not worth it. Howard Stern, actually, before he turned into the nut job he is now, he was one of those guys. It was like, it's not worth going after him, because what are you going to do? He said everything. We already know that. Like, what, you're like shocked he called some woman X, or showed titties on his show, or like, no, like,
no, just shock. That's what he did.
That was the gig. So there's nothing you can attack him on.
Did he throw his hat in the ring yet? Isn't he going to run?
Oh, good. I hope he does. No, he won't leave his fucking basement.
He said he was. He promised he was.
Yeah. If Trump runs, he's the only one that could beat him. Keep thinking that, Howard.
Awesome.
Your narcissism's on display again. So on the Club Random podcast, I believe he had on Sharon Osbourne, and I haven't watched it.
Okay.
But he was saying, talking about
I'd like to know the whole fallout of the View thing from her side.
Yeah, she's probably said it somewhere.
I'm sure
it
she
was
has.
bullshit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I
She defended Piers Morgan. That's what that was. Piers Morgan took some shots at the Royals, and they were outraged. And she was like, "Piers is a good dude," and they were like, "How dare you?" And she was ended up, fired. Whatever, So good. I hope it made your show better. It didn't, but if you think it did, okay. So Maher was questioning the posturing of sanctuary cities, calling them out for welcoming migrants but panicking when they actually arrive from overwhelmed border states. And I think that's a key word. Overwhelmed is a key word.
Indeed,
there.
yeah.
It's very important. It's just a good example of could everybody stop posturing? Don't pretend that you love migrants so much, and then when border states send them to you, you don't like them. You're full of shit, and we can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you liked them when it wasn't your problem because you're not a border state. And then when they show up in Chicago, New York, you're like, what the fuck? What are we going to do with all these people? So this is news now because there's all kinds of video and pictures of migrants by the hundreds sleeping in front of the Roosevelt Hotel in New York. And it doesn't look good.
The NPR fucking struck again.
Oh, did they?
It's,
now what?
They call, it migration.
What?
Yeah, they're referring to the border people, the immigrants, the migrants,
as migration.
Migration of them migrating north.
Oh,
I was like, you might want to look that fucking word up. Yeah, I don't think that means what you think it means.
Yeah, no, it doesn't shock me though.
No, I know it, but I heard that one and I was just like, okay.
So he goes on to highlight the disparity between liberalism, which seeks humane solutions to move people off the streets, and the woke mentality, which resists any measure to relocate them, asserting that the streets are their homes. Liberalism is for the sake of humanity and compassion. Can we get these people off the streets? And woke is, how dare you ask them to move? This is their home. No, it's not. Love it. Mm-hmm. There's got to be a better solution than putting up the unhoused in hotels. Get a barracks. They're not that expensive. Eric Adams recently warned that the migrant crisis would affect neighborhoods as the city grapples with approximately 91,000 new arrivals from the border. This weekend, we learned that Governor Abbott is once again deciding to play politics with people's lives by resuming the busing of asylum seekers to New York, L.A., Chicago, Denver, and D.C., of course.
Don't forget Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite.
I love the Martha's Vineyard one. It was great. But it doesn't go to his argument, which is why he doesn't mention Martha's Vineyard.
Of course. I know. It's my personal favorite.
Well, it's my favorite, too. Mm-hmm. It's the best. Not only is this behavior morally bankrupt and devoid from any concern for the well-being of asylum seekers, but it's also impossible to ignore the fact that Abbott is now targeting 5 cities run by black mayors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that they're targeting. Those mayors who claim sanctuary cities are what they're running.
Yep.
Okay. So whether those are black cities or white cities, because to Troy's point, Martha's Vineyard. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe they have a black mayor. I don't know. All major cities are run by black mayors anyways, for the most part. Certainly all inner cities. Maher added he would support Biden in 24 if there were a rematch between him and Trump, but admitted he was disappointed with the former's lack of competency. So when Biden got in, I was like, really? I thought you were that kind of guy, but you don't know how to pull out of Afghanistan. You can't seem to get a thing going on the border that's compassionate but not stupid. Again, the competency worries me more than ideology. It makes me think no matter what politics you people are, you're the same person. You can't get anything done. What?
I was looking up a list of sanctuary cities because I don't know if you have to declare as a sanctuary city or.
I think they have.
Essentially, yeah.
I don't know if that requires paperwork of any sort or if you can just declare it. But
yeah,
I'm not sure.
So the 10 biggest or largest sanctuary cities
can I
in
guess?
this country. Sure.
L.A.
Yep.
San Francisco.
Yep.
Chicago.
Yep.
New York.
Yep.
Denver.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm missing some big ones here. Philadelphia.
Yep. Nice. You did L.A., right?
Yep.
Yep.
New Jersey.
That's a state.
Oh, yeah. Is there?
No. Seattle,
what else is
Seattle, Columbus, San Jose, San Diego. That rounds out the top 10.
Wow, there's that many in California. Okay.
But the irony is that this, whatever this is, fairus.org, it has a ticker at the top for illegal border crossings today.
Oh, shit. Where is this?
This is fairus.org. Whatever. Okay. That was the link I clicked for sanctuary cities. First of all, what number do you think it was at? How many illegal border crossings today?
Today.
Right now, counting. And I'm watching it count as we go.
3,000?
We're almost at 7,000. We're at 68. I clicked this on a minute ago, and it was 6802, and is now 6812. Nope, 6813.
So they know 13 people just came
I mean, whether this is real, I mean, how do they know in real time? But I think it's just 6814. Who knows? But
look,
just think about that. Wait.
Are we going to get over 6,900?
And another one.
Nice. This is in no way about migrants. Like, this country was based on immigration and immigrants,
but there's also a way to do it. There's a policy in place that's been there for the entire fucking duration of this country.
The fact is, and I think I've talked about it before, but when I went to New York City and went to Ellis Island, which was the spot immigrants were processed through, I cried in that building, wandering through by myself. I literally had to split from Beth at the time. It was just like,
I need a minute.
I was front and center. I don't want to see anyone see me like this. But watching old video or audio, mostly audio, from desperate mothers and families living in holy hell somewhere in the world, who, on the idea that there was this potential fantasy dreamland where you could be free. And think about the decision that those mothers made. I mean, you as a parent, you can imagine this. You're going to put your child on a boat, send it across the world because you've heard rumor of a fantasy world that exists where they might have a chance to live a decent life. Knowing, and this is the part I lost it at, knowing you're never going to see them again. This is not the America we live in today. You're not hopping on a flight and seeing them. You're talking about...
There's no 23andMe.
No. You will never see these little human beings that you produced again. It's powerful shit. I recommend everybody go there and read the stories. Listen to the audio recordings from these people who never saw their kids again. It's humbling. You take for granted what we have in this country, the lotto win you had by being born in this country for all its faults, which we all acknowledge.
Sure.
So it's not a problem with immigrants that we have.
No.
And it's not about black mayors being overrun and targeted. No. You guys specifically,
it's
for
about the
politically motivated reasons.
The fact that we're at almost 7,000 illegal border crossings already today.
And 5 million plus since this clown took office. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And you don't have a place to house them.
Why does that make us a better country?
When you get on your soapbox and start going, we will never, no human being is illegal. We will never turn anyone away. And then it's like, oh, okay, hold my beer. Here's busloads. Here's 91,000 of them, New York City. You want to be the fucking hero? You want to be the sanctuary hero? You have them laying all over your streets. You have them not following the laws of this country or even understanding the laws or language of this country. You have them sleeping on the pavement out front of your hotel. Now what? Now how do you feel? Oh, it's an attack on you. No, you started it by declaring yourself the border essentially open. That was your attitude. And so all of you sanctuary cities, I think it's brilliant. I'm sorry, it just is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I hate
You're the one that
migrants or
designated
immigrants.
yourself a sanctuary city.
Exactly.
You volunteered to take this on.
Yeah.
Basically. So
here you go. Here we are, Martha's Vineyard.
Sanctuary away.
It took you less than 18 hours to get them the fuck off your little lily white island. Is what it did, Martha's Vineyard.
So hypocritical.
Yeah,
but okay.
You patted them on the back and you shuffled them onto a bus.
We gave them sandwiches.
Yeah,
we gave them our
we
water
hugged
and
them.
everything.
We said you're always welcome.
Let them shower with the hose in the back.
Yeah. You're fucking creepy the way you behave, and you couldn't wait to get them off your little fucking slice of heaven.
Anywhere but here.
Yeah, anywhere but here. That's what it looks like. That's what it screams from the rooftops.
That's the virtue signaling.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's nothing more than a virtue signal, and it's so crystal clear that that's what's going on. It's almost laughable to the rest of us.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you asked for it. Here you go.
If it
you
wasn't
keep
so
voting
sad,
for it,
it'd be
you
fun.
deal with it. I feel bad for the immigrants. They are used as a political pawn by both sides in a lot of respects.
Sure.
But this is a direct result of what's been going on at the border. It is. I don't know what else you expect. I don't know what else you expect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this country's found on it. It's not like, okay, no. I am all for legal immigration.
Yeah.
All for it.
Yeah. And it made sense when you had 2 million people in this country, Troy. There's 330 million now.
Key word in there. I'm not sure what it is.
It was legal, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the one you were looking for.
But no human is illegal, Michael. Remember.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. Some of them are the ones that break the law.
Yeah, you'd think.
A little bit illegal.
Right.
But hey, we got to go see Dave Landau tonight.
We are, yeah. Let's do this.
I'm very excited.
Cannot wait
to see Dave. We fucking adore Dave Landau, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he's at Ridley's tonight.
All weekend?
If you're listening live, and then he's there Friday, Saturday for a couple shows each. He's one of the best comics out there. And then Newberg's here next weekend at Ridley's. So
yeah, back to back with our boys.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple exciting weekends. We're going to go say hi to Dave tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do an Ask T-Roy in an email or two before we get out of here.
Let's.
Dear T-Roy, my hood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a man in my 40s.
Okay.
All my life, I wanted nothing more than to get married and have a beautiful child. I've been in 2 relationships.
Then you realized you were gay. Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I have been in 2 relationships, one for 9 years, the other for 11 years. I suppose it's unusual for a man to long for a child. My baby days are about over, yet I still long for one.
Your seed's still good.
Yeah, they'll be good for a long time. Mm-hmm. I have adult stepchildren and grandchildren. We even fostered 4 children for 2 years. I love them all, yet I still feel so empty. On top of it, my mother constantly says, I wish you would make me a grandmother. I tell her my stepkids are her grandchildren, but she insists on grieving that I don't have a biological child. I am not able to, and I've explained it to her.
Lay down, Mom. I'll give you both.
Yeah. My wife tries to understand my pain, but just can't. It causes distance between us, and she shuts down. How can I forget about these desires and move on with life? Daddy issues in Indiana.
I mean, listen, man. Life's not fair. Dude, first of all, you're in your 40s. I mean, you had 2 long-term relationships.
Adopt, dude.
You can, absolutely. I mean, but that's still not the same. On some level, it's right. Well, it's fucking spade a spade. But why you didn't knock either of those 2 bitches up, I don't know.
He says he can't.
Oh, that's what it was? He's
at the end of there. It sounds like he's shooting
It's
blanks.
his thing. It's his issue?
I think, unless I misread that. And that kind of
took
took me by surprise,
listen,
too.
dude, the world needs ditch diggers too, buddy. Like, it's not everybody. It's God's will. So.
She insists on grieving, and I have to explain to her. My wife tries to understand my pain, but just can't. Let's see. We even fostered 4. I love them all, yet I feel so empty. On top of it, my mother constantly says, I wish you would make me a grandmother. I tell her my stepkids are her grandchildren. She insists on grieving. I don't have a biological child. I am not able to, and I have explained it to her.
Oh, well, I guess just in that sentence, I'm not able
but
to. Well,
I could say I'm not able to because I don't currently have a.
Yeah, because I pull out. I don't. So I don't know. Maybe it's physical. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Either way.
My wife tries to understand my pain, but just can't. So the wife obviously has kids.
Yeah.
So she's like, I've already spit them out. No.
Dude, yeah. Listen. If you want your own that bad, you're gonna have to dump this chick. And you're gonna have to go fucking get yourself, and you're gonna have to go get yourself a 30-year-old that's ready to shit one out.
Yeah.
But in your 40s, married with stepkids.
Yeah.
Obviously, she can obviously.
He's gonna have to let that dream go.
Yeah.
Look, dude. I dreamed.
Go to the fucking park and steal one, dude. I don't know. Whatever. You want a kid so bad, go get one.
I dreamed
Kids get
literally
snatched every day.
Every day from the time I was 10 till the time, up until yesterday, that I wanted to be a rock star.
Yeah.
Like I wanted nothing more, but at some point,
Your dream died yesterday?
I think, finally. It's like, you know what? I'm probably not going to make it. I'm probably not going to hit the big stage and tour the world. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. I'm not going to shake my hips like Elvis for the ladies. It's just not going to it's not in the cards. And I've had to fucking own up to that. First off, I never really mastered an instrument. That really held me back, too.
Yep.
I think that had a lot to do with it. Anyway. All right, let's do this. First thumbs down on the road, T.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Hello, friends. I just did my first thumbs down. Haha. I'm driving on Grand River in Farmington Hills, and this Lexus sedan flies past me, blowing the horn. I'm thoroughly confused because I'm doing the speed limit, driving the right way down the road, just farting down the road, obeying all traffic laws. I catch the car at the next light, and I do the boo thumbs down and laugh at her. She thumbs me back. The fuck did I do?
Well, you got thumbs down in return?
Mr. Fox. Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like he did. Well, it's better than the bird. If you would have flipped the bird, you would have got the bird back.
That is a de-escalated situation.
Much better.
Indeed.
Much better.
It felt good, though, didn't it, Mr. Fox?
Yeah.
It felt good, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm saving mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it willy-nilly.
Oh, dude, I got a fucking arsenal. And listen, it's not like I retired the bird on any level. Because the bird is
I've seen
fully
you
warranted.
I think you wielded the bird last night.
Probably, it's possible.
Yeah.
I'll put it right out the window. I'll put it right in your face.
Yeah, you will. You'll roll down windows full arm extension.
I'll make sure it. Yeah, exactly. They will 100%, especially when I'm passing somebody, to make sure they see it.
Yeah.
Roll the window down and get it out there so they know this was for them.
Yeah. You got a big arm too.
Yeah.
It's a big old gorilla arm.
Big old middle finger too.
Taylor Swift tickets. We'll end on this one.
All right.
Hey guys, I have a 13-year-old daughter.
Don't ask.
So in a bid to win Dad of the Year, I jumped on the pre-order to buy Taylor Swift tickets back in the spring. I got in no problem to buy tickets, which surprised me because I heard of nightmare stories. The cheapest tickets available were $320 per ticket to sit in literally the last row of the upper bowl of Ford Field. So I passed on buying them. By the time the tour came through Detroit, I was kicking myself. I could have made $2,000 on those tickets.
Each.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh, Connor.
What are you going to do?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, dude, justifying $640 on a pair of tickets.
For your 13-year-old brat? No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
So.
All right. With that, we'll call it a day. T, you're going up north.
Yeah, I got a fun weekend ahead for sure.
Yeah,
looking forward to that, too.
That's great. I'm going to be here with Cease.
Officially on vacation.
That a boy.
As soon as we shut this down, I'll officially be on vacation.
Love it. Hopefully we see some of you guys at Landau tonight, and hopefully you go support Dave this weekend at Ridley's Comedy Castle, and be there for Chris Newberg next weekend. He's our guy too. So with that, we'll call it a day. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.